watching The Stitcher's Pit. Today I want to talk about cross crafting. Why? What's the point? Why would you want to multi-craft? I mean, is it that you have too much time? You got too much space around your house? Is that what it is? I mean, I know it's not you don't have too much money, because I've seen a cross-stitcher punch a hobo in the face for a dime. So I know that's not it. I think the problem is, you guys need to stay in your crafting lane. You see, I mean, you'll never get better at one thing if you keep having a whole bunch of little things going on around you, right? So, like, why suck at a whole bunch of stuff when you could be getting better at one thing, right? You need to stay in your crafting lane. Now, I'm going to give you an example of this in a term that my people know, and it's a gaming term. It's a role-playing game term, and you need to understand that all of life's questions can be answered through role-playing games, and in this case, Dungeons and Dragons, the basics, right? In Dungeons and Dragons, you can cross-class, okay? For example, you take a fighter, okay? And then you have a cleric, like a priest. And you cross-class them, and you get a paladin. Okay, theoretically, that's great. You get all the perks of a religious zealot with a big, beefy, meathead fighter. That's great, right? Here's the problem. Paladins are pretentious, righteous assholes. Okay? So, what I'm trying to say is you need to stay in your crafting lane and not be a pretentious, righteous asshole. Okay? Don't be a paladin. But I digress. Other news, the shirts. I wanted to talk about the shirts. So you went through that last order of shirts. So what we did is we just went and we bought every single type of shirt they had, all the purple heather shirts they had, printed on them, and we're going to put them up with this video. You can get the link down below. Trying to grab yourself a shirt. I think there's like 30 something shirts there. They didn't have some sizes, so like I think it's the triple extra larges or the double extra larges. We have like 3 in, but they're pink. So just know that if you go to order, I think it's triple extra large, you're gonna get a pink shirt. We'll put that though in the description. So read the description before you order. But some sizes they just flat out didn't have, like mediums or small or something like that. They just didn't have any. So if you need one of those sizes, send us a message and we will make you one. It won't be on the purple heather, but we can still make you one. This is gonna be the last run of this shirt that we're gonna do. We might change the design and put it up again later. We might change the color, whatever, but it's probably more than likely not going to be the same design. So if you like the design and that's the one you want, let us know. If you can't get one, let us know. And try and do it by early October, because we are going to get rid of that screen and then it'll be gone forever. So yeah, hop on there, grab yourself a shirt. Email us if you want a special order. The triple extra larges or whatever, the doubles, whatever they are pink. And hopefully we can get everyone one of these shirts that want one this time. The last thing I wanted to talk about real quick here is something funny that happened beginning of this week, or actually it was last week. I was preparing an interview for someone. And I wrote out all these questions, and I was going over the questions with Emily. And I got to a question, and she said, "Yeah, you're not saying that on camera. You're not filming yourself saying that. You can't say that word." And I was like, it's just a joke. It's just a word. No, you know, you're not gonna. You know, she's like my personal FCC. She's my censorship button there. So I said, okay, well then, you know, that's fine. I'll scrap it and do something else instead. But I started wondering, well, what other words can't I say? I should know these before I actually go out and say them and end up with an interview or something that I can't use, you know? So I came up with a list of words, and some of them she was like, that's fine, that's not bad. And some of them are just like, no, absolutely not. So I thought that it would be a really good idea if I took those words and said them all right now, so you guys could hear them. And I mean, most of them are pretty harmless, but in order to really get the full effect of the word, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Joey Bobbins to give us a sentence with that word in it. I'll give you an example. Cock jockey. Cock jockey. Who doesn't love a good cock jockey? You know what I mean? The little guys that ride the roosters at the racetrack, the rooster races, you know, the cock jockey. Pretty harmless, right? But here, Joey Bobbins, give us a sentence.
While spending time in Guatemala, I met Javier, whose small stature made him one of the greatest cock jockeys to ever strap himself to a rooster.
That was excellent. That was really excellent. How about nut butter? You know, everyone loves a good nut butter and jelly sandwich, right? Joey Bobbins, give us a sentence.
God damn, I only eat Peter Pan's nut butter, and I like my nut butter chunky. God damn.
Okay. Douche cave.
The gentle mist and ocean underbreeze brought back memories of playing in the douche caves off of the Isle of Man.
Dinky nuts?
Dinky nuts!
Say what?
Dinky nuts!
Uno más?
Dinky nuts!
Say word.
Dinky nuts!
Fine. Chicken dick. You know, the guy you hire when all your chickens go missing.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to sack up and hire that chicken dick. God damn.
Sack, nougat.
So now I don't know what to do, right? She's in the back bleeding out in the tub. Jonesy's up on the roof firing shots off at the helicopter. Still got the Girl Scouts out front on the front lawn. I don't know what they're up to, and I'm just like, sack, nougat!
Okay. Oh, I got a good one. What about jutard? Uncut sausage wafers.
I thought she wanted uncut sausage wafers, but it turns out she was only interested in sloppy biscuits and gravy. Ah, damn.
Thunder tits?
Thunder tits! Thunder tits! Thunder tits!
Yeah, we got where that's going. Okay, what about sloppy biscuits and gravy?
I remember her well. Her hair long, silken. Her eyes like deep blue pools you could get lost in. And a mouth like sloppy biscuits and gravy.
That's grapes.
I mean, I thought I was giving birth to a pineapple, but my doc says I just got a case of the ass grapes.
Oh, that's excellent. That's really excellent. What about the old Anaheim waterboard with a neck tattoo?
So then I realized this Jutard trying to give me the old Anaheim waterboard with the neck tattoo. God damn.
Yeah. Okay. I can hear her coming up the stairs now, so I think we'd better stop doing this immediately. We are here with It Is Kismet Diana?
Yeah, it is Kismet Stitches.
Now, Diana's much better. Diana's a great name. I'm going to tell you why. First off, were you named after Princess Di?
No, but I wish I was.
Okay. Diana, the other Princess Diana, is Wonder Woman. Diana Prince.
Yeah.
And that's pretty badass. You should go around saying that you're named after Diana.
The other Princess Diana, yeah.
Exactly.
The Amazon.
So we are talking about being bicraftual, which is sort of your thing.
Yeah, totally.
You are kind of like a bicraftual
savant?
hussy. Well, whatever, a multi-crafting Jezebel, if you will.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You have quilted,
yes,
stitched, cross-stitched,
needlepoint.
Do you crochet at all?
I did in the past. I made a blanket. Still have it at the house.
So
I've tried knitting, but I always end up with a needle in my armpit. So I'm gonna save that for retirement.
So, what is the benefit of doing all these different things? I mean, the first thing that pops in my mind would be the money. It's so expensive to do all these crafts. Why would you want to do more than one?
I don't know. I ball on a budget, though. I will tell you. I know how to shop a good sale. My mama taught me.
Right.
So I get a lot of good deals, and part of it is just pushing the creative boundaries because I've also tried surface embroidery. I've tried like crayon tinting. I've done a whole bunch of stuff. Part of it is just trying stuff in order to learn and kind of stretch the creative muscle. Okay. It is expensive, but with the exception of the crocheting, I still do everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the other thing other than the money aspect would be the time aspect. How do you juggle? I mean, it's hard enough juggling one or two cross-stitching projects. How do you juggle on top of that? Now you got a quilt over here and you're doing this over here.
I think it all really depends on what I'm in the mood to do, I do have a lot going on, and it's not always easy to finish stuff, but it's what I prioritize. Sometimes I'm really in the mood to sew, so I'll end up sewing more. Sometimes I'm in the mood to stitch, so I'll take a break from my sewing. Or if I have a present, I'll prioritize that and make a baby quilt and get it done, before baby drops. So,
do you ever feel guilty? Do you ever feel like you start a project and then you get wrapped up in other projects and stuff like that? Do you ever go like, oh man, I started that like 3 months ago. I haven't touched it.
Yeah,
I've got to go do that.
But then it's like the person's getting a gift, so they're getting the better end of the deal. I made a friend a wedding quilt, and her 1 year anniversary was in July. And I just finished it. I haven't shipped it yet. Okay. But she's getting a quilt.
All right. So frig up.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. She's gonna have a long time to enjoy it. So I think it's okay. People are usually appreciative, especially the ones that understand what it takes.
What would you say the percentage is that you gift to people?
Right now, it's probably like 75% of the quilts I make I give away.
What about the rest of your projects?
Cross stitch I keep. I hardly ever give away cross stitch. I'm making one that's a present right now, but the rest of the cross stitch is usually for me. Now,
can you cross genres?
Yes.
Can you put a cross stitch something into a?
Yes, there are quilts that have embroidery. There are quilts that have cross stitch blocks on them. I think Melissa Beck, Persnickety Stitcher, she's making one where it's those prairie schooler Santas that they all kind of look the same and they're about the size of a postcard.
Yeah, right.
She stitched up a bunch of those and she's putting them on a quilt.
Okay.
So you can mix all the stuff up that you want.
And now, is that something you do, or is that?
I haven't, but I wouldn't rule it out. But that would be more of a decorative thing rather than a utilitarian item.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
And the quilts I make, I tell, especially the baby quilts, I tell people, use it till it falls apart. Don't let it just sit in the corner collecting dust thinking it's heirloom. It isn't. Put the baby on it, do some tummy time. It's going to be all right. Let him puke and just wash it. And so I make them, they're built to last.
Tummy time was my nickname in high school.
That's your other nickname?
I have a bunch of nicknames in it.
So it was Taco Ring?
God,
Tummy time?
Kids are so cruel. All right, you're not from New Jersey, but you pretty much grew up in New Jersey. How high was your hair?
The higher the hair, the closer to God. Yeah. That's a Southern saying. It was pretty much varieties of this. At a
What-
certain,
what
I
year
used
did
to do this too.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Did you hit doorways when you...
No, I'm short. I'm only 5'3". So what doorway was I gonna hit? A hobbit hole?
I don't know, but I mean that hair is pretty up there.
Yeah, it's just a little volume.
What about nails? Did you have big
Yes.
old fake Freddy Kruegers?
I had dragon lady nails
Nice.
to the point where I would do this like with flat hands. So I'm
Mhm.
illustrating like this, and my hands would hit the table. It was bad.
Yeah, that's
I had those in high school, and they had designs on them.
Yeah,
and
come on,
everything.
you're not a hobo. Yeah, of course they had designs.
I will say I never did the French manicure because even that was too much for me. But I did have like painted marbling stripes. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and I had the dark lip liner. The dark lip liner for a while. I had the thing called a pasty, where you would literally.
What strippers put on their nipples?
No, different.
Oh.
Different. This one was you would literally paste your hair to your forehead in like a swooped down bang.
God, that sounds sexy.
Yeah.
Well, don't feel
Memories.
bad. I had a pretty kicking mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly single through high school.
Really?
Yeah, even
Whoa.
with the mullet.
I would have thought.
Yeah, maybe I should have pasted it to my head or stapled it or
Exactly.
something.
Just paste it to the back of your neck.
What's up, ladies?
Yeah, Jersey girl, man.
All right, your video names. They're the greatest names of all.
You see, I never get any comments on them, so I thought people didn't like
They're
them.
great. They're great. So what I decided to do here is make a little game of this. I'm gonna give you a movie, a sequel, and you tell me the original movie line that it came from.
Okay.
You got it. So if I said Empire Strikes Back, you'd say Star Wars.
Star Wars. Okay.
All right. See how well you know these.
Oh, buddy, you're putting me on the spot.
Yep, that's what the point of this is.
Okay.
Red, white, and blonde.
Oh, that's Legally Blonde.
See, you got it. You got it. They're not hard.
All right.
The Squeakquel.
Oh, is that Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Chipmunks.
Okay.
Sorry, 2 for 2. So far, so good.
I don't think I've ever seen any of those.
No, neither have I. Number 3, The Legend of Curly's Gold.
Oh, City Slickers.
I've
seen that one.
On this one. All right, number 4, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, is that's the dancing movie? Breakin'?
That's this. And the
What is
Scarecrow from...
Is it like Breakin' or something?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Breaking 2, the Electric Boogaloo. Number 5, The New Batch.
The new what?
The New Batch.
Oh God.
Emily knew this one.
The new batch.
Actually, Emily knew a lot of these. She didn't know Electric Boogaloo, but
I don't know the new batch.
Gremlins 2.
Oh, damn it!
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the. Oh, I love that movie.
Man, are you gonna take it this hard through the whole thing? Because we can stop right now.
No, I got this.
Okay.
I got this.
All right.
All right.
Center focus.
Shalom.
You're chi. Number 6, Judgment Day.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2. Number 7. Don't say it like.
Well, because what did I name one of my
Jackass.
videos?
Did you name it Judgment? No.
No, I
Rise
did-
of the Machine. That's like the
Third.
or fourth one. Yeah.
Come on.
When Nature Calls.
Ace Ventura.
That's right.
That's part 2.
That's right.
Dude.
The Two Towers.
Lord of the Rings.
Staying Alive. This is the last one.
Saturday Night Fever?
Yeah, that's right. Do you ever see that one?
Yes, with the dancing?
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Oh, it's so bad. It's good.
And so now, well, that's good. You only missed one of them, and you
Yeah.
probably
I knew it, but
would
I
have
didn't
gotten
know
that
it.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I got some bonus movies
All
for
right.
you, okay?
Uh-oh.
Citizen Kane 2. Some Dick in His Sled. Jaws 5. Here Comes That Big Ass Fish Again.
Uh-huh.
Fast and the Furious 27 or whatever they're on. We just keep making these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty Woman 2. That's a rich ass hooker. Which
I'd watch that.
Yeah, which could actually be a lavender and lace chart, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a rich ass hooker.
Yeah.
And Forrest Gump 2. 2 more hours of watching a retard run. All right, so you have a law degree
Yeah.
in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
So you were telling me that can't cross over.
I personally don't meet the requirements for reciprocity into Georgia.
Okay.
Yes, because you need to have had the active practice of law for at least 5 years and meet some other requirements.
Okay. So, and long and the short of it is, you're sitting on this law degree and you can't do shit about it unless you
Take the bar.
Well, but you could still practice in
Louisiana. Yeah, my license is still active. I keep it in good standing.
Okay. All right, then I have to ask you a question, some legal advice.
Okay.
It's not for me. It's from a friend of mine, Johnny Derpy.
Yeah.
From Canada. You know.
Okay.
Let's say he was drunk on Jack Daniels and Klonopin and ran over a handicapped guy.
Okay.
In a crosswalk,
right.
And then took off. What would you say he should do?
He's fucked. That's my expert legal opinion.
Well, that's not really going to help him out too much, I don't think.
I didn't say I was a good lawyer.
So, what are you doing with what are you doing with this non-law degree then? I mean, is that something that you would?
I don't want to practice law. I see lawyers and they're miserable.
But I mean, there's like a billion different types of lawyers.
You
right?
would think, yeah, there are, but there's a lot of things that I wish I'd known before I'd gone to law school that I didn't, as like one of the first people in my family to even go to college. So I went into it very, very blind and ignorant. You know, I have the smarts. You know, obviously I passed the bar. I passed it on my first try, which a lot of people that are smarter than me couldn't do.
Right. I know you're kind of bragging, but yeah, I'm hearing you.
I mean, come on.
Toot.
Do something.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with the legal profession, a lot of it really depends on who you know. I know legitimately a lot of people that are dumber than me, that are a lot more well off just because, you know, their daddy knows this guy who's a judge and their grandpa was a judge and the grandpa before him was an attorney and and that is rampant throughout the industry. I'm the first person in my family that went to college. I know no one anywhere. So I never had like those built-in relationships and connections that a lot of these other people had.
And you'd be ground flooring it.
Yeah, which is fine for a lot of other people, but frankly, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm too anxious, a little lazy. I never wanted to hang my own shingle and have my own business. I just wanted a decent job.
Right.
But the economy crashed when I was in law school, which made me reevaluate pretty much all of my goals. Thinking back, I probably should have dropped out, but I was never a quitter.
Yeah, no.
And now I just have a lot of debt.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? Like, one of the great things about going to medical school is once you get out there and be a brain surgeon, you're going to be able to pay off all those.
Yeah. I'm paying them off. It's just going to take a little longer. And frankly, I don't care.
Yeah. But
I mean,
at that point, doesn't it suck knowing you're paying for something you're not using?
Yeah, but I mean, what am I going to do? I can't sit there and cry about it.
Yeah. I don't know. What about what are they, like the non-profit type of, like, the environmental lawyers? What about something like that? That way you don't have to be a sharky asshole.
They probably make less money than I make right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the climate being such as it is, you're not guaranteed that you will get your loans forgiven if you do public interest work right now. Because politics.
Yeah. Well, so what? So where are you working now?
I work for a company that does title insurance stuff. So I essentially, I think I'd mentioned that, you know, when you buy a house, the title, which means, you know, you can own this property, gets insured just in case someone says, no, I own the house.
Right.
Well, then they figure out where the money goes in case there is a big fight about it. But I do the research and I look to see that the transaction can go through because there are no homeowner association liens. The taxes have been paid. The people that own it didn't have a judgment against them saying you owe us $10,000 and so we're going to take your house if you don't pay. I make sure that none of that stuff is on the property and that the sale can go through.
So, I mean, why can't this? There's real estate law, right?
Yes.
why can't this be a foot in the door for that? If it was something that you would.
I'm not sure if I want to
Again,
stay.
you would have to.
Yeah.
You'd have to get certified, licensed here.
I think I can make progress at the company that I'm at
Mm-hmm.
because it's in transition and it's growing a lot. I just don't know if that's what I want to do long term. So I'm still kind of evaluating. I don't have a year there yet. In December, it'll make a year since I've been working there.
Okay. All right.
So they've talked about moving me around. So fingers crossed.
And that's desirable?
If there's more money involved, if not, I'm leaving.
You're fine with it.
They're very well aware of it.
Okay.
Have you met me?
Well, back to the stitching stuff. What are you what crafts are you working on mostly now?
I've been sewing a lot lately, because I'm making a quilt for a friend whose house got broken into, and a lot of her stuff got jacked.
Mm-hmm.
I am making a quilt right now for a friend in Texas who lost her house in the hurricane.
Okay.
I'm finishing up a baby quilt for a friend, my oldest friend, and it's really pink.
Pink seems like it would be right up your alley. You seem like a real girl's girl.
Yeah, right? It's really pink, and it has elephants on it with polka dots.
Mm.
So that's all quilted.
And I'm to believe that you did not pick out any of this on your own? That's so hard to believe.
Yeah, so I'm trying to finish all those quilts, and I've been stitching some smaller projects to kind of make up for that. So like before bed or a few minutes before work, I'll put in a few stitches. So I made some little Christmas things and, some creepy stuff.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm
always making something. I can't sit still.
I understand. Do you want to take a little time to explain what happened at the quilt shop?
What happened at the quilt shop, Jim?
We ran into a couple of nice old ladies.
Well, backtrack and explain how we ended up at a quilt shop.
Well, we actually started at an antique shop, and then they essentially kicked her out because she kept breaking shit. But we went around the corner.
They kicked us out because you told them they were going to get arrested for having all those signs in there.
Which is illegal, yeah.
They had a bunch of stop signs,
like
road signs.
There are, what town was that?
It was Cumming.
There can be no stop signs out on the road anymore because they were all in this antique mall. There are people flying into each other out there somewhere because someone has taken down all the stop signs.
We saw at least 5 road signs.
Yeah. But
and pictures of creepy babies.
Yes. Yeah, and what were those things that you had said? The vase?
Flower frogs.
Flower frogs.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where there's a million of them out there, but you don't notice it until someone else points it out, and then that's all you see.
You got to talk to Debbie and Donna inside about those.
We left the antique mall, and this was all we were supposed to be doing an interview, by the way, and it just didn't happen, so we ended up just kicking around being idiots together.
And coming.
And we went to a fabric shop.
Yeah, Threadbare Quilt Shop.
Which is very cool, very nice. The woman behind the counter had a very, very thick mustache, very voluptuous. She was like Magnum PIing it. I called her 70s porn star. It was lovely. It was lovely.
She was really helpful.
At one point, I looked over and she was giggling her little ass off. Just like when you giggle and you're shaking, you know? She was doing that. And I'm like, what the hell are you laughing at? And she kept saying, she kept going, ween, ween, ween. And she just kept saying it over. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And apparently she had heard this conversation.
Well, no, it goes a little further than that. They had these like Halloween quilt kits and they were all prepackaged. And they had the picture of the panel in the front of it. And the kit was called Queen of Ween. WEEN. And at that point, I'm like, wait.
Just as a quick side note, I think everyone right now should write in the comments what they think that is.
The Queen of Ween.
The Queen of Ween. Write that in.
Comment.
Now. But
so I'm waiting there to get my fabric cut, and some ladies are getting Halloween fabric cut, And so they're chit-chatting, and then they talk about the kit, like, oh yeah, the Queen of Ween. It's so cute. I want to buy it. And I'm just like, nobody else.
Somebody else you got to know you're saying it, man. You got to know you're saying it.
How do you not realize it? So I'm like, and Jim has disappeared. He's looking at something else at this point, and I'm like, where did he go? So I'm there, like, with tears about to, like, come out of my eyes because they keep saying the Queen of Ween. And I'm like, weird.
And when she had pointed it out to me again, it was like they just kept saying it over and over. Ween, 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 queen, ween, ween, queen. And I'm just like, yeah, these chicks love it.
They love the ween.
They keep saying it. They love that.
Oh, I just about lost it after that. I think we both ended up kind of walking away.
Now, what did you, this is kind of a weird side note question. What did you think of that kit itself, though?
I like the panel.
Like, if you could rename it, I'm sure you would, but what did you...
it's forever going to be known as the Queen of Ween to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have sewn it, but I did like the panel because it was like some sort of witch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You dug the fabric and all the colors and everything.
Yeah, but the actual pattern just wasn't my steez.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got for you your questions.
All right. I'm ready.
Sent from all over the world.
Really?
All your fans.
Yeah. All two of them?
You
and
all
Emily?
of them. All of them wrote in. I definitely didn't write these in while I was watching Alf last night.
All right.
All right. If you had to rename a cross stitcher, someone with a channel, who would you rename and what would their new handle be? Like, I would definitely rename you the Queen of Ween.
I'm going to beat you up when we stop filming.
Next interview, I'll have a big black eye. People are like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm like, I'll tell you one thing, Diana's not the Queen of Ween. I'll tell you that right now. That's what it is. I have learned my lesson. I fell into it.
I get enough thumbs down. I do not need to rename myself the Queen of Ween.
Boo!
Grab your torch and pitchfork! You know, I should have an answer to this, but I really don't. I think most people actually pick good names.
It doesn't have to be a bad name. I'm just saying, is there someone out there that you think has a personality trait or something like that they should rename?
I don't know, because honestly, I only watch people that I genuinely enjoy. Mm-hmm. So if I would rename someone, it would be like some corny stuff, like, oh, she's so kind. I don't know, like
the kind stitcher.
The kind stitcher.
Oh my god.
She's glowing. Yeah.
So gay.
Don't say that.
All right, number 2. Do you have a nose piercing?
Yes.
Do you have a nose piercing because you like to pick your nose and want an easy excuse?
Yes.
That is a very good call.
Yeah.
That is a very good call.
I'm always digging in there. But honestly, I dig in there because sometimes it pokes out like this. Yes. And I swear it's not a booger.
Yes. So I knew a girl who had the exact same thing, and the inside of the stud was green.
Oh.
Yeah, really bad choice there, because it would poke out the bottom, and you'd be like, wait.
Well, it's because I'm a slow healer, and they pierced it with like a longer stud to allow for like swelling, and I just never replaced the original piercing jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have like a bunch of earrings. I have my tragus pierced.
Oh yeah.
This is my second hole. I have a hole below that one, and then on this side, I have that pierced in there.
Look at that.
That, and then this is my second hole, and I have one below that.
Oh wait, so the one on the top, there doesn't go.
It's not an industrial, no.
Oh, okay.
But I have a different one in this cartilage right here.
Oh my god! And that
a
goes
rook,
into the
I think.
inside.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
On a windy day, do you whistle?
All the time.
Number 3 for the nose picker. Why does your Dalai Lama needlepoint project look like an episode of Fraggle Rock on acid?
I got a bad batch of acid. It had shrooms in it.
Mm-hmm.
No, the original canvas, because needlepoint, there's 2 different kinds. You get counted canvas, which essentially is similar to cross stitch, and you get painted canvas, which has the design pre-painted on there. And so she came pre-painted.
That sounds like cheating.
They're hand-painted by like designers. So each one is painted by hand. That's why they're so expensive. She was painted with very, very bright colors to begin with, and I was like, well, I mean, might as well. So I just bought.
So there's not really a chart then?
No.
So you just go with what's there.
Yes.
But you could change the color.
Yes.
But you didn't.
I made them brighter.
Really?
Yes.
So you were on acid then?
Are you not listening?
What do you think? I stitch for fun? Yeah, of course I'm on acid. Why would you not get on acid?
No, she was already painted up, and I just chose like complimentary.
It's very psychedelic.
It is. I can't wait to get her framed up. I wanted to put her in a shadow box because she's like 3D.
Can you get like the type of thread that like black light will like?
Probably. There's glow in the dark thread.
Is there?
But she does have like eyelashes. She has hair that I need to like fluff up and stuff.
You ever watch like HR Puffin stuff or like the Great Space Coaster or something like that?
It reminds like maybe she belongs in like Fraggle Rock or something.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Weird shit, man. Number 4. Oh yeah, you stitch a lot of Santas.
Yeah, I like Santas. I haven't even shown my nicest one yet.
How many shopping malls have restraining orders on you? And a follow-up question, are there any malls that put pictures of you up during Christmas time, like, don't let this woman sit on your lap?
All of them in the Atlanta metro area.
That's probably justified.
Yeah. I do have a picture with Santa within the last 5 years.
Right.
Yeah, I might have been sitting on his lap.
Is it one of those post-mortem pictures? Is he like,
does
he have the X's that you
X's on his eyes,
stitched into your Santa?
I'll show you later.
I just feel like if you rummage through her closet, maybe in there, like in the dark corner of her closet,
don't talk about my collection of Santa hats, okay?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like dirty, bloodied Santa costumes and weird shit.
I collect the pom-poms.
Like a necklace of pom-poms, like some Vietnam vet.
Have you been looking under my bed?
No, everyone's seen it. Everyone's seen it, okay? And last, if you had to fight a famous person, dead or alive, for 3 2-minute rounds, who would you fight and why?
George R.R. Martin.
Okay.
The author of the Game of Thrones books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off,
yeah,
man, that just fell right out of your mouth.
I was ready.
Okay.
I've been thinking about it.
Okay, this has been brewing for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, George
R.R. Martin.
You watch your ass, buddy, because she means business. Why?
The last book was put out in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
The show has now passed the books, and they're making up their own shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing with your life? Put out the next book.
So do you
He's going to die before he finishes the series.
Do you feel like the liberties that the show is taking is dragging the name through the mud?
For what it's worth, I have enjoyed the show. And with the source material that they have, I think they've done a tremendous job.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that he's very thoughtful. He's very intentional. I know that he had these plans. And now it's like, well, is he going to get influenced by the show? Is he still going to do his own thing? How much is the ending going to diverge? Mm-hmm. Like, are they going to be 2 separate entities, or are they going to be somewhat along the same lines?
Okay.
I don't know. But I'm pissed. And now I have to wait like 2 years for the next season to come out. He probably won't even be ready with the book by then.
Oh my God.
Dude's going to like stroke out. We're not going to have anything.
No. If this guy dies, I'm gonna
coming for you.
I'm calling it right now. Someone was going to find this guy in an abandoned house in a Santa outfit, tied up to a chair and stabbed to death.
You know, those were secret plans.
I'm just saying.
Now I need to make another plan.
This is evidence now.
No, because I'm going to come up with a totally different plan.
So why do you think that, why are you directing all of your anger towards him specifically?
Because he's the author. It's his world.
Right, it's his world, but I mean, he has no... I'm not going to say he has no say, but I mean, when he's done with his... When he's done with the books, I mean, he's
just not done writing it.
He's not going to go to the directors and say, look, you guys can't do what you're doing. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I'm saying
they
you
have
can't
very
do
open
it.
conversations, and apparently they confer with him. And
Did you see that guy staring at us?
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Okay, I'm not looking up there.
No, he's walking by again.
Okay, I'm not looking up there. I'm just gonna keep staring at you and pretending like I'm not looking at him.
He's wearing jorts.
He is clearly looking at you. This is an
I don't know
issue
what you're
between
talking
you
about.
and him.
Right.
I am out of this.
You have a knife?
No. I know better than to give someone like you a knife.
No, I mean, he's admittedly saying that it's like taken him way too long to finish it, that he's just been slow, that the process has stalled, I'm tired of excuses, buddy.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We want results, not excuses. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That
How many
dude's-
rounds? 3 rounds?
2, well, yeah, but you don't think it's going to take 3 2-minute rounds. You don't think it'll be 3.
Then do we have to like box, or can it be like any kind of fighter?
MMA fighting?
I could get him by the knees, knock him over.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a big round guy.
How old is he?
He's in his 60s.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You're beating up a fat 60-year-old?
Yep. Elbow drop.
This is what your life has become now.
Mm-hmm. Stitching and fantasizing about beating up old guys.
Who, by the way, you're actually a big fan of his.
Yes.
This is what you do to people you like.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to see what you do, like, if you actually hated this guy.
Yeah, like I can't go after Tolkien.
No.
Because he's dead.
No, living or dead. You can do living or dead. Would you go after him?
No, because he's done. I have the whole story.
Yeah, right.
And I have all the stories. Lost Tales, Silmarillion, all that jazz. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
There's still something to be done with George R.R. Martin. He has 2 more books.
So the problem isn't with Martin himself. Your problem is that he's a slack ass, and you don't feel like he's living up to his potential.
Yes.
So you think that by maybe threatening him,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe he'll pick up the pace a little and get some crap done.
Yeah.
You heard it. The gauntlet has been thrown down.
I am a tough taskmaster.
What we have here for you,
Mm.
Sexiest Man Alive shirt.
I love it.
I'll
wear it with pride.
Yeah, hopefully.
This will be my version.
This is, look, all I'm asking is when you get your mug shots or when you're on the news, please don't be wearing my shirt for it.
I'm driving down the highway and the helicopter's
Right.
chasing me.
Right, exactly. And
They blow out my tires. I'll be like...
They're like, known as the Jimmy Flosstube murderer. I'm like, oh man, they named it that? That sucks.
Notoriety.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, any fame is good fame. Right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
So, in honor of Diana being from New Jersey, where I went to high school, the wonderful state of New Jersey, the armpit of America, I wanted to tell this New Jersey story that has to do with a local landmark in New Jersey that's very well known up north. I don't know how much, probably not so much in the south, but I've told my wife this story a bunch of times, and she's like, "You're not telling that story. You can't tell that story," because I say the R word a lot in it, and she's like, you can't say the R word in that. So all right, well, I'll just change it. I'll change it, and what I'll do is I'll just use the safety word that Organic Lori and I came up with during her interview. So the place in New Jersey is called Action Park, and it's a water park. It's a water-based theme park. You know, water slides and tubes and the wave pool, stuff like that. And all through the late 80s and the early 90s, that place it had many nicknames, such as Traction Park and Class Action Park. It was known as kind of a death trap, the kind of place where kids went in and didn't come back out, and it was super dangerous. And I worked there for a summer between my sophomore and junior year. And I worked there under the belief that my parents would buy me a car when I got my license that following year. Which, by the way, they still haven't done. So they still owe me a car. But yeah, I got a job there, and really I just wanted to go and screw off with all my friends. They were all working there, but like within the first week, everyone else quit because it was really far away. It was in Vernon. It's like 45 minutes to an hour away, and you made like back then minimum wage was like $4.15 an hour, $4.75 an hour. It was like terrible, but you know back then you're a kid, you didn't really care. But so my first day at Traction Park that I worked, they put me on a ride called the Cannonball Loop. Now, the Cannonball Loop is a very simple, very easy ride. You're in a tube. Okay, it's a water slide. You're in a tube. And it drops down about 2 stories, puts you into a quick loop, and then spits you out into a pool at the bottom. Okay? Pretty simple, pretty basic. Yeah. Well, what I didn't know was that like 3 years earlier they had closed the ride because someone died on it. Okay, no joke. Someone got killed on this ride. They went down the slide and they either stopped themselves with their hands or whatever. They didn't get enough speed going down the slide, that first drop, that when they hit the loop, they didn't go all the way around and they slid back down to the bottom, ended up drowning at the bottom of this slide. They didn't tell me that. They don't put that in the, you know, the little video that they make you watch. Oh, by the way, if anyone asks you if someone's died on your ride, you know, ask them if they're a lawyer first. So they just throw me on this ride. And they didn't fix it. They didn't do anything about it. They just opened it back up. Like the bigwigs came in and said, what is that ride? Cannonball Loop, why is it not running? It's just sitting there collecting dust. So open it back up. Let's get some kids on that ride. So they did. And my first year, my one and only summer working there, was the first year they opened that death trap back up. Okay. So I go over. My job is very simple. I give the briefing to the rider, and then I wet them with a hose in the order that it lubricates them enough that they won't stop halfway around that loop, slide back down and drown again. That's their solution to this problem is let's just squirt them with a hose and they'll be fine. So my first day, I'm up there and it's a 2-story climb. You got to go up this stairs like 2 stories up, and I'm on top of this platform. It's the middle of the summer in New Jersey. It's well over 100 degrees, and I'm there from like 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I haven't seen a single rider yet because it's a death trap. People have died on this thing. No one wants to ride the death loop. So I'm just standing up there baking in the hot sun. There's a person down at the bottom of the stairs, and they weigh you. That was another thing. You had to make a certain weight, or else they wouldn't let you go on it. Weight and height, I think, is what it was. Yeah, or else they wouldn't let you on it because you wouldn't get enough speed, and you die. Ta-da! And another thing was you had to take up all your jewelry too. They didn't want any jewelry on there, bracelets, necklaces, anything that could get caught. So I'm sitting up there all day, just baking in the hot sun, like dying out there. And yeah, it was around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, like peak of the crappy part of the day. And here comes this kid and his mom, and they're walking over here, and I'm like looking down from up on my perch going, well, these dudes are lost. There's no way they're getting on this thing. These guys are looking for directions, trying to find their way out or something, you know? And I'm watching them, and they're talking to the person down at the bottom of the slide, and the kid, the boy, he starts taking off his bracelet and taking off his shirt, and I'm like, what is this crazy son of a bitch doing? Is he actually getting on this thing? Sure enough, here he comes, walking up the stairs, making his slow climb to doom. Just coming up the stairs, which it's got to be a little bit like Lord of the Rings, that slow climb up the mountain to Mount Doom there. But like, here he comes, coming up the stairs. And I'm like, all right, you know, I got my hose, I got my spiel all ready, you know, I know what to say, and I'm ready to go. And the dude's taking forever. And I'm like, what's taking this guy? I'm looking down there, and he's like, it's like taking him a real long time. He's really slow. And I'm like, okay, well, what's going on here? And he starts making his way up here, and I'm realizing, you know, this guy's he's walking a little funny, a little weird, you know. Sure enough, dude gets up there, and he's an apricot. I mean, he is severely mentally apricoted. Like, to the nines. You know what I mean? Like, just a total apricot. And I said, okay, hey dude, welcome to the Cannonball Slide. Let me tell you what we're going to do here. First, I'm going to spray you with this hose, and then you're going to sit on the edge of the slide. You're going to cross your legs, and you're going to cross your arms, and you're going to keep your legs and arms crossed all the way down through the slide till you come out the other side, and you want to keep your back up against the slide for the whole trip. Because if you lift your back off the slide, when you hit that loop, it will force your head backwards, and you will bang your head on the slide pretty goddamn hard. And the kid's like, and I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm gonna spray you down. Now, this was mountain water, okay? This wasn't like nice, refreshing distilled water. This was water that came from the top of the mountain down that they're pulling from. This was freezing, frigid, cold water. And this kid's standing there, and I start spraying him, and he screams the exact same way I would if someone was stabbing me. I mean, like a little girl, like, ah, ah, and he's screaming, and he starts running around the top of the slide, just hauling ass around there, trying to get away from me, and I'm running after him, spraying him with this hose, trying to get him wet, and all the people at the bottom of the slide around the park can hear this kid screaming, and they're just looking up at me going, look at that bully. Look at that jerk. He's spraying that apricot. He is spraying that apricot down. Someone ought to do something about that, because that's not right. You know? And he's running around up there. So finally, I'm like, all right, dude, just sit down on the slide. And he sits down on the corner, on the edge of the slide. So he's sitting there looking down into the abyss. And I said, all right, dude, cross your legs. And he crosses his legs best he can. I said, all right, man, cross your arms, cross your chest like that. And he crosses his arms. I said, all right, put your back up against the slide. When you go down, put your back up against the slide. You're going to hit your head pretty hard if you don't, all right? So just do that, and you'll be fine. He's like, and I said, off you go. And this is what I see disappearing into the darkness. Okay, see if you can get this. Arms uncrossed, legs uncrossed, back off the slide, screaming his ass off, all the way down into the darkness. And he disappears into the blackness, and about, I don't know, half a second later, I hear this boom, just like this bell ring. And the whole slide shakes, and all this dust from the top falls down. That's like 3 years of dust falls off this thing. He hit his head so hard on that loop that I swear to God, when he came out the other side, I thought he was just going to be normal. I thought he was going to come out in a suit with a briefcase, like, it's all a good time then. We're off then. See you, mother. You know, pip pip. You know, I'm off to work, to the university, and just like leave, get in a BMW and drive off. I thought he was just going to be like complete reversal. And I'm looking from the top, I'm looking down to the pool where the water comes out, and you know, he's going to come out of. I'm like, please God, let this kid come out the other side, all right. You know what I mean? And I'm just looking, and he comes out, and it spits him out like a bullet coming out of the end of this thing. And he's stumbling around the pool, falling. And the people, the workers come, you know, that are in the pool. They help him up and get him out of the pool. And the mother comes running down the hill from the top. Comes running down the hill. Oh my God, oh my God. And this kid, he's all screwed up, just like, you know, stumbling around. And she goes, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? And he says, she goes, well, did you have fun? And he goes, and she goes, well, do you want to go again? And he's like, and they start walking their ass back up the hill, back over to the bottom of the slide. And I am up at the top going, you have got to be damn kidding me. You are not about to get on this ride again. Are you serious? Sure enough, that kid comes walking up the damn stairs again. And I'm thinking, no, this is not going to end well. I just see this kid doing this like over and over again until just a limp dead body just kind of floats out the bottom of the other side. He comes up, I'm like, dude, listen, man, you have got to keep your arms and legs crossed and your back up against the slide. And this dude, I swear to God, he looked at me like, yeah, we both know that's not going to happen, all right? So go ahead and spray me down and just push me down this slide one more time, okay? And I spray him with the hose. He's screaming again, running around the top. Sit him on the side of the edge of the slide. Dude, cross your arms, cross your legs, and please keep your back up against the... This is what I see. Disappearing into the darkness. Going down into nothing. Boom! Hits the slide again. The rest of the dirt falls off the top. He comes out screwed up. The other end, mother goes down. She's like, I think it's time to go home. And I'm like, please take this kid home before you end up having to take him to the hospital. And that is the summer that I spent lubing up apricots and pushing them down water slides. I want to give a big thanks to Diana from It Is Kismet Stitches for coming out and doing the interview. I want to remind you to order your shirts. Keep an eye out for them. And if you don't see any at the shop, drop us a message and we will try to get them out to you as quick as we can. This is Jimmy Flosstube and Joey Bobbins. And as always, go floss yourself. That was really good.
Pip, pip.
Secret handshake?
Secret handshake.
Oh. Change your shirt.